SubhanAllah, my brothers, first of all, we make a dua for our brothers and sisters all around the world, especially in Gaza and every other place that are getting right now oppressed, murdered, etc., etc. Because, wallah, the reality is we are very blessed. We are super blessed. And subhanAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy and forgiveness on all the souls that have passed, that are passing away, and that will pass sooner and some later. SubhanAllah, the Imam was reading in the first rak'ah, SubhanAllah, Surah Al-Hakum Al-Takathur. And whenever you hear this surah, you always think to yourself, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us about this world and the competition in this world. And it is so true that you see this every single time. And one of the brothers here, who is a digger at the Garden of Peace, may Allah bless him and reward him, he'll tell you that straight every day, that every single person competes until they go to the cemetery. And once you go into those grounds of the cemetery, nobody wants to talk about competition because you see the reality. You see, my brothers, the reality is that we will all die. Every soul shall taste death. And as much as we say this, we never comprehend it because we still think we're going to see tomorrow. Nobody's promised tomorrow. Ask me. Every single day I see my phone in the morning and I think to myself, subhanallah, we lost 5 overnight. We lost 6 overnight. We lost 3 overnight. You look at the ages. Some are in the start of their lives, 20s, 30s, others in the end of their lives. But what you get from all this is that death doesn't discriminate. The angel of death has one job to do, and that is to take our soul back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whether you're young or old, big or small, rich or poor, it does not matter. That washing table does not discriminate. They'll put you on it, they'll wash you, they'll shroud you, inshallah they'll pray upon you, and they'll bury you. And then it moves on to the next and the next and the next. And if any of you frequent the cemeteries, you'll see how if you attended a funeral last week and you go next week, you'll see another row has gone. Many other souls have passed. We see all this, but what do we get out of it? We seem to go back to our lives and we forget very quickly. And subhanAllah, we're told to remember a lot that destroy our pleasure. And why is it to destroy our pleasure? Because any love for this world, when death comes, it takes it straight out of you. Straight out of you. Ask anyone who loses a loved one. He doesn't want to talk about the world. He doesn't want to talk about nothing love in the world. SubhanAllah, brothers and sisters, every single one of us has a date with death. It's preordained. It's written. Some of us here are going to outlive others, and others will not see next Ramadan. And that's the reality. And everyone here's a witness of it. How many people did we lose last Ramadan? And how many people were here last Ramadan and the Ramadan before, and etc. But we seem to still plan and move in this world like we're going to see tomorrow. The reality is every single time you put your head on that pillow at night and your eyes shut, your soul leaves your body. It is the mind of death. And as the Prophet ﷺ taught us, when we wake up, we make the dua that all praise to the Almighty for giving us life after we were dead, and to Allah we shall return. But we never realize this, do we? We never realize that our soul left our bodies, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, for some of you, I return the soul, and for others, I hold it back in your sleep. And that's, on proof, I tell you now, how many people pass away at night? How many people go to sleep and not wake up? I'll tell you now, 75 to 80% of them don't see the Fajr. And my brothers and sisters, we go to sleep thinking we're promised to see tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll do better. Tomorrow I'll pray the extra prayer. Tomorrow I'll ring that guy up. I'll make good with what I said to him. Tomorrow I'll pay that guy for the money that I owed him, even though I had it a year ago, a month ago. We procrastinate. And the biggest problem we're going to have in the hereafter is procrastination. Because once you are entered into that grave, your hereafter has begun. And every single one of us, our hereafter is only a minute away from our soul leaving our body and us being clinically declared as dead. You see, my brothers, the way you live is the way you usually die. And the way you die is usually the way you are resurrected. So ask yourself what you do every single day and judge yourself before you are judged as Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu used to say. Because if your last actions are worthy and you believe they're worthy of facing your Creator today, by all means, you can live with that conscience and do it. But most of us, we're all guilty. We're all guilty of something. We all got shortcomings. Every single one of us has shortcomings. Every single one of us asks for more time. So, the problem is with time, we don't control it. And we always seem to run out of time. Every single person at that cemetery had unfinished business in this world. Every time I get a deceased, the family has a story to tell me. He was about to go to Hajj. Subhanallah, he was about to do this. He was about to do that. He was about to attend his daughter's wedding. About to did not happen because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had other plans for us. One thing that every single one of us here always seems to, fight his desire or soul is how do we remain steadfast? How do we remain grounded in this world, especially in the Western world? I'll tell you straight out. Visit the cemeteries. Visit the cemeteries and go read those headstones. Go read those names. Some of those names are exactly our same name on there. Read those ages. Some are younger than us. Ask yourself, why are you still here? Some are older than you. Some have been in their grave much longer than they lived on this earth. And one day we will be one of those names. And people will walk past us and maybe look at our name and go, oh, I remember that guy. He used to do this and this. Or nobody will know you. Because the reality is in 100 years' time, the 8 billion people on this earth will be exchanged. Not one person will be on this earth. Because according to statistics, roughly about 117 or so billion souls have passed on this earth since time began. That's 117 billion souls in Barzakh. Good or bad, everyone's going to Barzakh. There's a Barzakh life after this. And we all think, oh, you know what? I've made it, subhanAllah. I know the 3 questions of the grave. Really? You know I'm on this earth. I can give you now a guy who doesn't pray one prayer and is not a Muslim, but he knows the questions. He knows the answers. But what will answer in the grave? What will answer when the angels are asking you those questions? It'll be your soul. It'll be what you lived by, how you lived your life, how you got up for that Fajr, how you prayed those Ramadans, how you stopped backbiting, how you stopped slandering, how you didn't oppress that person. That's what answers. Your deeds and actions answer for you. Because subhanAllah, the saddest things I see are people that pass away and they didn't make up for their lost time. And the reality is, it's happening every day. Wallah, it's happening every day. Not everybody dies a perfect death. Not every single person dies in a shahedah or saying good words at his time of death. Not every person dies, reciting Quran or smiling. We all want to smile at death. But how are you going to smile at death if your whole life you never lived according to the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us to live? Because you see, my brothers, most people when they smile at death, and I'll tell you, I've witnessed this, I've been in those rooms. When the angels descend to them, they descend to them with white faces like the sun. And they give them glad tidings. They give them good words that make them smile. They tell them don't fear and don't have regrets because you are going to something better. That's what makes you smile. Because every single one of us here smiles when we're told good words. Nobody smiles when bad things are being told to you. And subhanAllah, that is why they smile. Are we going to smile at the time of death? Are we going to be able to, subhanAllah, say that shaheed at the time of death when we don't even say it, only in our prayer maybe? When I say you will die the way you live, I'll give you a quick story of a man who, subhanAllah, I buried 2 summers ago. This man started to come up to the Jamia where we pray. We're in the main mosque there in Sydney. And we were watching the CCTV. This guy just shows up in the summertime. It was about 3 a.m. Fajr is about 4:30, or he'd come about 3 a.m., 2:30, a couple of hours before Fajr. And he just prayed 2 rak'at until Fajr. He'd pray Fajr and he'll leave. He wouldn't come for Dhahar, Maghrib, Isha. You'd never see him again. And, the mentality of the human being, he's quick to jump to conclusions. So we thought this guy must be an informer. So this is what we're thinking. Until the last day he attended the mosque. He prayed 2 rak'at. And the last 2 rak'at he went down and never went up. And he died in prostration. I watched him and buried him that day. Only to find out, subhanAllah, that this man was diagnosed with a terminal illness a few weeks earlier. Told, go home and live your days at home. This man always wanted to die in prostration. He had the concession to stay home, to pray in his bed, but he wanted it. He asked for it. He wanted it, and Allah gave it to him. With whatever energy he could gather every single morning, he would go to the mosque. He would pray 2 until Fajr. Except that day Allah had ordered for him not to make it to Fajr, but to die in prostration, what he wanted. SubhanAllah, my brothers and sisters, my brothers, this is exactly, you will get what you want if you sincerely ask for it. You know, we ask for dying in prostration, but we hardly prostrate. We ask to die and be buried in the Baqiyah, we never go there. How could you get this ending if you're not even associated, it's not even part of your life? You know, for us to be ready at the time of death, and believe me, no one's ready at the time of death. Everybody wants more time. But to be kind of prepared for it, because the believer, death is a prize. Al-mawtu tuhfatun lil-mu'min. Meaning, ask any other people out there, non-Muslims, you tell them death is a prize, bro. And they say, what? What do you mean death is a prize, bro? How can death be a prize? A prize is something you win. For the believer, he wins that through death. What does he win? He wins his graduation. He wins the Jannah, the paradise, what he's worked for all his life. The getting up in the fajrs, the cold mornings, the long days, the fasting, etc., holding his tongue, protecting what's between his legs, the backbiting, the slandering, not being associated with it. Your prize, like a student, is at the time of graduation, and for the believer, it's a time of death. So, you know, at the end, our life will be summed up pretty much in one sentence. That's it, one sentence. 70, 80 years on this earth, 90 years on this, one sentence. It's going to either be, oh, you pure soul, come out to the mercy and forgiveness of your Lord, or oh, you evil soul, come out to the anger and wrath of your Lord. That's how quickly it gets summed up.